Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. I hope you are well, inshallah. So, welcome to our next lesson. We're continuing with our discussion on Irab. Now, if you remember, in the previous two lessons, we've been looking at the singular and we've been looking at the plural. And we said that the singular and the plural, they follow the same when it comes to Irab. In other words, the singular, when it's majrur, will have a kasra. When it's mansub, it will have a fatha, and when it's marfu, it will have a dhamma, right? And singular and broken plural, al-mufrad and al-jama' mukassar, they follow the same pattern, all right? Now, I'm going to introduce the second one, or the third one if you like, that comes on its own, which is the dual. Al-muthanna. Al-muthanna is the dual. So I'm just going to introduce the concept to you, and then we'll do some examples from the Quran for you, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So, when a word is a dual, like muslimani, right, for example, and it's a state of rafa, right, it will have an alif. Can you see the alif here? And the sound will be ani. So, muslimani. Okay, the sound will be muslimani. Muslimani, like you have here. Muslimani, like you have here. So, you just have to remember that when it's a dual, and it's in the state of marfu or rafa with a dhamma or a pesh, then it will be musliman. I'll explain the reason behind all of this further in our lessons later on. So that's important. So you just remember the sound of alif or ani. Now, when a word that's a dual comes in a state of nasab or kasra, zair or zabar, then it will be with the sound of aini, with a ya basically. So it will be muslimaini. Okay, so you have muslimani and muslimaini. That's the theory. So mansub and majroor come together. Mansub and majroor come together, and marfu comes on its own when it's dual. So it's muslimani when it's marfu with a pesh, and it's muslimaini when it's with a kasra and a fatha. So I hope that makes sense for now. Let me try and give you an example from the Quran, and we can take it from there. So let's take this one. Okay, let's do this one. So this is in the Quran. بَلْ يَدَاهُ مَبْسُوطَتان. So let's take this step by step, inshallah. So let me get a different colored pen. So the bal here, let's look at the word bal. Bal. Actually, let me get a thinner pen because I know I need more space. So the bal, we need to work out, is it ism, fi'l or harf? It's not an ism, it's actually a harf. Okay, so I'll just kind of put that out, which we haven't covered in detail, but we did introduce it. If you remember, in our first lesson, we said there are three types. There's an ism, there's a fi'l, and there's a harf. We haven't touched fi'l yet. We've mentioned harf a little bit, but we're really focusing on ism at the moment. That's what we're really focusing on. So we have this word here, bal yadahu mabsutatan. So first of all, we need to identify what it is. Is it an ism, a fi'l, or a harf? We know straight away that it can't be a harf. It's not a fi'l because we haven't covered that yet. It's not a verb. So for now, we'll know that it's an ism. Okay, so this is an ism. So mabsutatani is an ism. Now we need to apply our knowledge that we've been using so far when it comes to a word being a definite, indefinite, the i'rab on it, the number, whether it's a singular, plural, or a dual, and its gender. So let's do that, inshallah. Let me get a different colored pen just to help you a little bit. So, first of all, is it definite or indefinite? Right? We know there's no alif lam on it, so therefore it must be indefinite. Okay? And you should already be aware that when we use the word definite and indefinite, you should already know what the Arabic for that is. Okay, so make sure you're aware of that as well. I'm going to leave the Arab for now. I'm going to come to the gender. What's the gender of this word? Now, if we're paying attention, we'll notice that it would have been mabsutatun with a ta marbuta at the end. But that ta marbuta has opened up. So we know that it's feminine. Okay. Mu'annath. Feminine. Okay, so we know it's feminine. So we've covered that. Now, so we've done that. Let's cross that one out. We've done the gender. We've done whether it's definite or indefinite, so we've covered that as well, right? And we know the word for indefinite is nakira, so let's keep that going as well, keep the Arabic going. Feminine is musanna, so we've done that. Now we need to work out its number. Is it single, dual, or plural? Well, tatani tells you, the sound of it tells you straight away that this is a dual, right? So we know straight away. Actually, I made a mistake here. Let me just rub this out. This is meant to be mu'annas. Okay, mu'annas. And dual is musanna. So we've done that as well. So we know it's a dual. Now we need to know the i'rab. What's the i'rab? Is it rafa? Is it nasab or jar? Is it marfu, mansub, majroor? Well, based on what we've been covering so far, we know that when it has the alif here, tatani, when it has the alif here, it's going to be marfu. Right? So we know straight away that it's marfu. Right? So we have done all four for our ism. We've done all four for our ism. Right? We've identified whether it's definite, indefinite. We've identified its gender. We've identified whether it's singular, plural, dual. And we've also identified its state, whether it's marfu, mansub, majroor. Right? So let me give you another example just to make this a little bit more clear. So let's pick this one from the Quran. وقالوا لولا نزل هذا القرآن على رجل من القريتين عظيم. So I pick some words here, Al-Quran. Now Quran, we need to first and foremost identify whether it's a ism, fi'l or harf. Well, we know it's an ism because of the alif lam. So we know straight away that that's going to be an ism. Okay, we know that's an ism straight away. Now we're going to apply what we've been learning from here. So, is it a definite or indefinite? Is it ma'rifa or nakira? Well, we've seen the alif lam. So, we know that that is... let me pick a different color pen again. Second time again. We know that it's a ma'rifa. Okay? So, we know that it's ma'rifa because it has an alif lam. Right? It's definite. So, we've done one thing. Then we need to work out its number. Is it singular, plural, or dual? Now it does have an ani sound, but actually it's a singular. So we know it's a mufrad, right? Singular. Okay, so we've done that as well. Now we need to work out its gender. Well, we know the Quran. Here the word Quran is masculine. So we know it's mudhakkar. Okay, masculine. There you go. And the final thing we need to work out is its i'rab. So this is very, very easy because it's singular, it's got a rafa on, pesh on, so it's marfu. Yeah. So we've done it for Quran already. Right. Let's look at next word. Rajulin. Rajulin. So first of all, we need to identify what it is. Well, we know that that word is an ism. Okay. Right. Is it definite or indefinite? Let's work that out next. So we know there's no alif lam on it, so it's nakira. I'm going to dispense with using the English now. We know it's nakira. So we've done the D, definite, indefinite. Then we're going to work out its number. Rajulin is singular. So that's mufrad. Right? So we've worked out its number. Its gender? Well, we know that's masculine, so it's mudhakkar. And the final thing we need to work out is i'rab. Well, it has a kasra on it, so therefore it's majroor. Can you see? So we've done that one as well. The next word is this one, min, which is straightforward. That's a harf. Okay, that's a harf straight away, so that's straightforward. Let's pick the next one. Al-qaryatayni. Qaryatayn. Now, you'll notice a sound at the end. Qaryatayni. So that's telling you it's some form of dual, right? Ani or aini. Remember what we did on the previous slides? So ani, aini. But we'll come to that in a moment. So we know straight away that this is an ism, right? Because the alif lam is giving us the clue. Al-qaryatayni. Right, so let's do our 4 stages as well with it as well, inshallah. Let's pick this color. So we know it's definite. So D, that's ma'rifah. Right? Just practice, you'll get used to it. Ma'rifa. I'll come to the Irab in a second. It's number. Well, we know it's a dual, so it's muthanna, right? We know it's a dual. So we've done a number, new. Is gender? Well, if you're careful, you'll notice it's qaryatun with a ta marbuta on, which has moved from a ta marbuta to an open ta. So that's a mu'annath, it's a feminine. Now we need to work out whether it's marfu, majroob, or mansoob, right? So how do we do that? Well, we know from before that when it's with an alif, it's majroor. So if it was qaryatani, for example, then you would have said that's marfu. But when it's qaryataini, we know either it's going to be mansoob, it's going to be majroob. I haven't gone through the rules of how to work out which one it is exactly, but for now, based on what we've done, we know that it's going to be, because the ya's there, not the alif, the ya's there giving you the clue, that's going to be mansoob or majroob. All right, I hope that makes sense. Right, the final one I want to look at is this one, azim. So is it ism, fi'l, or harf? Well, it's not a harf, it's not a fi'l, we know it's an ism, azim. And one of the ways you'll know that is what's at the end, right? The kasratayn at the end. Let's do the same thing again. Is it definite or indefinite? Well, we know there's no alif lam on it, so it's indefinite, so that's nakira. Okay, we know that's nakira. We'll come to the Irab in a moment. Is it, we'll look at a number, is it singular, plural, dual? Well, we know it's azimin, it's singular, so that's mufrad, right? The gender, where there's no ta marbuta and there's no other reason for us to think of it being a feminine based on what we've done in previous lessons. So that's going to be masculine, which is mudhakkar. Right. The last thing for us to do is the Irab. Well, this is quite straightforward. It's not a dual, so we don't need to worry about the alif and the ya here. And it's azimin, so this will be majrur. Okay, so here's an example. What you could do is go back to the beginning of the video, get this verse out or copy this verse out and practice this, right? And you'll understand all of this through practice as well. So let's just recap one more time, going back to our previous slide, this one. Okay, so when it's a dual, it's going to be in a state of marfu, mansoob, majroor. The sign that a word is marfu with a pesh is that it will have the alif sound, so muslimani, right? And the sign that it's majroor or mansoob, and I haven't gone through which one it will be from these two, we'll cover that later, is the sound at the end, muslimaini. All right, I hope you found that useful. I'll stop there. Please do practice, and we'll take it from there next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.